Holy crap.
We're live.
Yeah, it lies, but there are a crap ton of people in comments. Bloody hell. Okay, let's see here. Um, let's go with white to match the weather. If you would like to keep the cold, freezing rain off our heads, donate here because it's cold and it's wet and
It sucks.
I moved to Texas to get away from this shit. Um, if you like coffee, these are our sponsors. Tell them you heard about it here. Maybe they'll send us more. Oh, look, Tom Rotherby survived the frozen north.
Hello, all.
Yeah, hello.
Go ahead.
Okay, Full Steam Ahead is supposed to go live Friday. It's up to the Amazon gods or their red caps, whatever. Space Cowboys 5. Cattle Drive opens now. So, Space Cowboys.
Yeah, I can imagine you got a few airline delays, Tom. Also,
Near as I can tell, Boeing drove the 737 all the way from North Dakota to wherever he was going.
also it appears that All Will Burn 2 is out.
Yep, been out for a while.
Yeah. I
I'm
never
doing
saw an
that one.
official announcement on that.
We were out of town.
Oh, that's right. We were in MarsCon.
In our defense, we were out of town.
I'll fix that.
Yeah, you might want to.
I'll fix that.
I actually do have a story in that one.
He does.
He does.
But I finished my short story / novella finally, 37,000 words later. I hate it when the damn characters will not go away. But it's done. It's out to the alpha readers.
Jet Smith is laughing at Ian moving to North Texas to get away from the cold. I moved from the Panhandle, where the only thing between Canada and Amarillo is a 3-stand. What?
So Oliver too has been routinely hopping ahead of Larry's Mean Streets thing. So we've been like teasing back and forth. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we're all up in the top 10 in our stuff. So
Anyway, the only thing between Amarillo and the North Pole is 2 moose and a 6-strand barbed wire fence with 2 strands down. And
Hell, I thought it was 4.
And the Rockies are just kind of like, you know how you use the side of a pool table to roll the ball?
Yeah.
The cue ball? Yeah, well, the Rockies are like the side of a pool table, and the cue ball is a polar mass. It goes right through Amarillo at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. The only thing between Canada and Amarillo is North Dakota. Yeah.
they're not doing their job.
They are not.
Yeah.
Hey, Sanford.
Yeah. 100 rads of gamma radiation make characters. Yeah. Yeah, it does cause a funnel, Julie. My problem is my damn hand's hurting the cold.
My left knee suddenly today's decided it wants to hurt. It's never hurt before.
Everything else was like, we're done. Your turn.
Yeah.
Hips, yeah. Hips, yeah. Shoulders, yeah. It's never been the minor in between joints.
Of course
Yeah.
not.
Now it's my left knee.
Just got the electric bill. Ow.
Oh, tell me about it. Mine was over $400.
Ow.
But the power stayed on. The house stayed warm.
Yep.
Today, old men complain of the weather. Yeah, screw you, Differ. That's your husband's job. Never mind. Yeah, we are old.
Poor Kermit.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I expect my hips to hurt. They hurt for a reason. There's a good reason they hurt. My left knee, I'm right-legged. So my left, why does my left knee decided to? And I don't tell me because I'm of a certain vintage because that'll just annoy the crap out of me.
Because you're getting old.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Winkle Red. I've shot in this kind of weather. Shot in freezing weather too, as a matter of fact. Getting down on the ground and shooting sniper matches. And yes, it's cold.
I've got gas heating.
Yeah.
But we've been running electric heaters in the kitchen and the bathroom where we have exterior pipes in the walls.
Sir Brass, I
And
don't
no
have any
insulation.
choice because The gas line is across the street from me, and it would cost $3,000 to have it brought across the street to my house, and another $2,000 to $3,000 to have my house actually plumbed for gas.
Every house I've lived in all of Texas has gas heating. So no, there's plenty of gas heating here. It's
And Drain, go to Key West, and then all you have to worry about is hurricanes.
hurricanes.
Yeah.
Get eaten by crabs.
Yeah.
No, if you're not in one of those California inspired housing developments that pop up and look like, basically, if you look at a satellite view, if you see something that looks like slime mold moving out, that's a housing development.
Yeah.
They're stupid. I don't like them. They irritate me. They are rife with HOAs,
Yeah.
and they build stupid. So if you're moving to North Texas, stay away from the housing developments, and you should have your house should be get a plumb for gas.
Yeah, the worst part in California is
except in Wichita Falls.
What's that?
yeah,
Except in Wichita Falls, where the tornado went through a few years
Oh.
back. And
Yeah.
in California, Sacramento, I was going down to see my oldest daughter, and I was cutting across the backside of Sacramento, north side of Sacramento. And I saw this housing development on the right. It was being built out. And I got to looking at it, and it looked like they were zero lot lines.
Yeah.
So got to her house and she was cooking dinner, so I jumped on the internet right quick. And they were, yes, zero lot line. They were 7,500 square foot lots with 4,000 square foot houses on them.
a little tight.
A little tight. And the cheapest one was $650,000.
I do not want to be changing clothes in my bathroom and actually elbow my neighbor in the eye in his bathroom through the window because they're practically touching.
Yeah.
HOAs, housing developments, just they're based on slime molds, and they're no more use than slime molds.
Yeah.
I've been in a subdivision, and I wasn't fond of it. But if you leave the HOAs out of it, they're tolerable. But
Yeah.
none of them leave the HOAs out.
Well, the thing is, and there's going to be people say, "Hey, my HOA isn't that bad." For now.
Yeah.
I have been in law enforcement in 2 mid-sized Texas cities and some small towns, and I'm here to tell you that every HOA that I've ever been involved with, or been around, or has been in my jurisdiction, sooner or later gets them in control.
Yeah.
Because it's the assholes that will work hardest to get voted onto the board.
Karen and Carl.
I fucking hate them.
Yeah, that's a good point, Julia. They usually design the houses so only one wall has windows. So the view is a black wall. Yeah.
I don't care.
The problem with that is legally, anything that's a bedroom is supposed to have an exit in it,
Yeah,
2
gotta
exits.
have a window. Gotta have a door and a window.
door to window. So actually, those houses are illegal to own or to occupy.
That there's got to be windows just in a different wall.
Yeah.
Because there's no way a home inspector or the state of Texas would permit. You can't have a house that doesn't have a
But
a
this
window.
is California.
California,
Screw
well,
'em.
everything's screwed there.
Screw
Yeah,
'em.
that's an excellent point, Ag. HOAs are like government. They attract people that want power, the exactly wrong kind of people to be there. Yes.
And then one of my favorites is HOA. It was this little housing development. I fucking hate them. It came up and it had a decent HOA.
Yeah.
And some Karen decided she wanted in and everybody else wouldn't vote her in. So what she did is she contacted her buddies back home, and every time somebody left, she got her buddies in there. And it took her about 5 years,
Yeah.
but sooner or later, hey, she had enough of her sycophants in the development that she got voted, and they all liked the ideas because they were based on the ones from the idiot state they came from.
California.
And then they decide, no, I think it was New York. I
Oh,
think
New
this
York.
was New York. And then they decided that, oh, if somebody's defying the HOA, we need to call the sheriff's office. Tell them they've got no. But you've got to tell. No, I don't. I don't have to do shit. Bye.
Yeah.
That's a civil. That's civil.
Yeah. A friend of mine down in Florida pulled probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. Oh, Robbie Burns night.
Hmm?
It's Neeps and Tatties.
I've got canned haggis. I've got a case of canned haggis.
Oh,
You can keep that.
Poor Sanford almost had a fit.
Anyway, they lived in a HOA outside of Orlando. Actually had some land. They were like 5 acres. And he built a workshop on the property behind the house and actually made it match the house. So it looked nice. Well, the HOA had a hissy fit because they didn't get to sign off on the design approval. So they started coming down on him about it to the point that they were going to take him to court to make him tear it down. Now, this is about a $30,000 building. And so he was an engineer working for the government, and his wife was a vice president of one of the medical online providers. So they decided to, that's me. That's Peter chiming in.
Oh.
So they decided to fight back. So they got to looking at the rules. And come to find out, yeah, disrespecting the Karens are not a law
Nope.
enforcement problem. So come to find out, they were within their rights to build where they did because the size of the building was less than the footprint of the house. So per the HOA, that was legal. So they came in and said, threatened to sue him, take him to court, and he said, fine. If we're going to do that, then I will require that every outbuilding in this entire development be measured for compliance. Now, this is also in the Horsey set. There were some 10 and 12,000 square foot horse barns behind a lot of these houses.
Uh-huh.
So they said, well, we're going to take you to court anyway. He goes, okay, fine. Bless you. So they take him to court. Well, first thing his lawyer does is bring out the bylaws, the original bylaws, which state that he is in compliance. And then pointed out all of the other houses in the development, including 6 of the 7 board members of the HOA who were not in compliance.
Goodness.
So the judge looked at it and went, you're right. All those people have to take their outbuildings down and get new approvals. Mysteriously, the next board meeting, all of the requirements for buildings, outbuildings went away. Approvals went away. The next board meeting after that, my buddy and 5 of his neighbors / cohort / friends,
companions in crime.
companions in
Fighting
crime,
indicted
good word,
co-conspirators.
got on the board by a mass vote. And they dissolved the board the next week. So now there is no HOA.
Small town Texas, not a lot of HOAs out here. The one that really set the cat among the pigeons, as far as I'm concerned, was the SO firing range.
Yeah.
Been there for ages, back when it was farmland, and it was down in a crater. It was an old quarry.
Yep.
And I mean, we're talking. It was an old quarry. I mean, there was a solid wall. And a couple of decades later, that thing had literally been there a while. Some jackass bought the land, set up a housing development. The construction company built a housing development
Yeah.
next to it, and HOA, and next thing you know, they're filing grievances on. It's like, this was here before y'all were. Knock it
Yeah.
off. Well, we got rounds impacting our houses. Nah, you don't. No, you don't, because literally, I mean, a wall of dirt. It was an old quarry. Just annoying crap out of me. And we had to move.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen if it has not already happened to Fairfax Rod and Gun out in Fairfax,
Yeah.
Manassas, Virginia, which has been there for almost 100 years. And it's about 70 acres. No, 170 acres. And it's got a couple of trap ranges. It's got 3 rifle ranges, 2 pistol ranges, 2 fishing holes on it. But the land behind it got bought by a developer, and they started putting in houses. No sooner had the first house been occupied back there than they started getting complaints. Yeah. The gunfire, it's early in the morning, they shoot all day.
Yep.
I'm afraid to let
Deal
my
with it.
kids out in the yard.
Deal with it.
Now, bear in mind, where this house sits, everything is pointed away from that house.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Those that are horrified by guns are horrified by guns. It doesn't matter what safety factors are involved.
Yeah, it's Northern Virginia too, so.
Yeah, among the many things that really piss me off about HOAs is they get really stupid about it. They inevitably get really stupid about guns, about brandishing or displaying guns. I lost count the number of idiot HOAs that I had to tell that there is no law against brandishing in the state of Texas.
Wait a minute, Raptor, what the fuck? We're trying to get Laguna Seca shut down? Good God. Laguna Seca, for those of you that may not know, is an old school racetrack in Monterey, California. It is one of the original road courses going back probably to the start of racing in the United States. And it has held NASCAR races there, among other things. It is a beautiful track in a beautiful area and has a ton of history behind it. And now apparently some locals are complaining about the noise from the cars.
Recent locals.
Yeah.
But you got these, and oh my God, he's brandishing, and they get really, start fines for open display of firearms or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when the coyotes move in and start eating their purse pets,
Yeah.
or their kitty McNuggets, they get, oh my God, the coyotes, right? They shoot them.
Yeah, Drang, that's the other thing. It backed up to Fort Ord, so you could always tell when the Army guys were out, guys and girls, because they'd be lining the top of the bluff where they could look down on the course and get a free pass. Yeah.
I'm just HOAs need to die screaming. And I'm all for freedom of association, which is what HOA is.
Yeah.
Allegedly, you get together and y'all decide, as a group to do something. And freedom of association, all that. But inevitably, it goes stupid. And,
The thing about it is, in many places, you can't buy a house that is not
Right.
in an HOA.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We turned down when we were looking to move this direction.
Yep.
There were a number of them that beautiful houses, beautiful location, but you'd have been in an HOA.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
nope, one of the reasons I like small towns, very few HOAs in small towns. Of course, the whole you get a bad small town, the whole town might as well be an HOA. But
Kermit, that's pretty bad. Karen that moved here from Cali for the bucolic quiet country life had no idea it involved gunfire, animals, and diesels. Yes.
the number of calls we used to get, for those of you who don't know, September 1
I
And-
knew he was going to tell this.
in Texas is a high holy day.
Yeah.
September 1 is the first day of dove season. We Texans, we do love our dove season. Number of calls we got starting about 30 seconds after sunrise on September 1 about men with assault rifles walking down the street was just, it's not assault rifles, it's a shotgun. They're not walking down the street, they're walking down a farm to market road because that's how they get to the field where they hunt their doves. Deal with it.
Oh.
Oh my God, man with a gun, man. And they always, man with a gun to get to really get that law enforcement. It's like, okay, if I have to come out here again, you're not going to like it.
Julie says, my birthday is a Texas holiday. Yeah.
That's a high holy day.
Yeah.
First day of dove season,
Yep.
That's
All the
where I
kids
should
are
be.
out of school.
where I should be.
Yeah.
I miss,
How
I
many
miss
times did
dove
that
season.
one woman call before
Oh,
somebody?
Jesus Christ. You call us again, you're going to jail. I don't, it's bad law enforcement practice to say, or if to issue an ultimatum like that is bad law enforcement practice. If you do X, you'll go to jail. If I have to come back, you'll go to jail. Don't ever do that. Somebody broke down. Yeah, if I have to come back out here because of your idiot man with a gun calls, you're going to jail.
Yeah. The day it rains lead sand everywhere. Yeah.
I actually sat Tom Claypool, Imagine Law Dogs, a 911 operator. There are 2 stories on my blog about time I got to sit in a 911 dispatcher's chair. I won't do that again. And that's when I started sending cupcakes to my 911 dispatchers
Yeah.
because they put up with stuff they shouldn't have to put up with.
Yeah, they do.
One woman called and wanted the dispatcher to tell her daughter she'd go to jail. She didn't eat her carrots. No, the daughter called because the woman threatened this little sprawling. And I'm sitting in the dispatcher chair, happy as a clam at high tide. If I remember, I was throwing pencils into the acoustic tile because I was bored. And I get this little voice that said, I know, go jail. It's like, what the hell?
Huh.
It's like, honey, why would you go to jail? Mama said, go jail and eat cat rots. I had no idea what the hell a cat rot was.
Yeah.
Sheriff's wandering through and said, sheriff, grandfather, father and grandfather said, hey, sheriff, what the hell's a cat rot? He said, carrot. Oh, it's like, well, honey, no, we don't take you to jail for not eating carrots, but you should probably bye, click. Oh, shit. I waited and phone rings, same number. I hit the loudspeaker because I wasn't stupid. The sheriff's sitting right there. And she's, I need to talk to the officer. Just talk to my daughter. Well, if your daughter just asked about cat rots, that would be me. Well, you need to tell her she'll go to jail if she doesn't eat them. No, ma'am, I don't. What do you mean you don't? I said, I'm not going to tell your daughter. I'm not going to terrify your daughter over bullshit. You can't cuss at me. Just did. She said, well, Clarence, this voice, what? There's somebody, this little dispatcher sassing me about General Eater carrots. Yeah. Tell you what, little girl, I know the sheriff. I'll have you fired. I went, hey, Bubba, how's it going? Long silence. Is that you, Mr. Egan? Uh-huh. I think I need to be going. Sheriff heard the whole thing on the loudspeaker, Bubba. Sheriff went, hey, Bubba, how's it going? How's the unlicensed junkyard in your backyard going? I'll just be going now, Mr. Jimmy. Yeah, you will. Bye. Click. Just pissed me off.
Yeah, we have a couple of friends that are current and are former dispatchers.
Oh, got more than one.
Yeah. Yes, they are a rare breed.
Don and there's a couple other guys that we know that are dispatchers, and God bless them.
Yeah.
Brian Cameron.
Yeah.
He actually runs a dispatch center in KC.
Now he does. Yeah.
He came up the ranks. He
Yeah.
worked the dispatch desk for a long, mostly fire. I wouldn't work fire dispatch. Oh,
Yeah. Never let your mouth write checks your ass can't cash. Yes.
and Bubba knew for a fact that checks his mouth wrote bounce with me. I that man and I, when I first went to work for Buckscuffle County, the policy manual was 12 pages thick. Not like it is now. But it was full of such wonderful policies, such as policy 12.01, hostage situation in Buck Suffolk County. In the event of a hostage situation, the first responding deputy will draw his sidearm, advance until he cannot miss, and shoot the hostage taker.
Yeah.
I love that policy manual. I really did.
That was a classic from the good old days.
Yep. The sheriff, when I first signed on there, sheriff said, we do not file resisting arrest. If somebody's resisting arrest, you will take them by the ER before you bring them to jail. I said, what? And he said, we do not file assault on a peace officer. If somebody assaults you, you will take them to ICU. And then when they get out, we will arrest them with an arrest warrant. Is that clear? Yes, sir.
How many pages are you responsible for in the manual?
And that one, not many. The pursuit policy was no Buck Suffolk County deputy will engage in pursuit that endangers citizens, tax-paying citizens of Buck Suffolk County, and will do everything within his means, up to and including lethal force to stop said pursuit before it threatens the tax-paying citizens of Buck Suffolk County.
In other words, shoot the driver of the car that you're supposed to be chasing.
I shot more tires out in that county, and I thought that was normal. First county I worked for, I thought that was normal. It's not normal.
Yeah.
What did you just do? Shut out the tires. I'm confused.
You remember Johnny's story?
Oh, God. With the 9mm brass bouncing off the roof of his car.
Yeah. Friend of ours, old school
Johnny Guest.
deputy sheriff in Central Texas, who apparently was Jim Wilson's training officer back in the day.
Partner. They were partners. Long time.
We got him talking one night after he'd had a drink or two, and he regaled us with a story of chasing a couple of bank robbers.
That was 1950s or 60s.
Early 60s.
And he was carrying a Browning high power because he wanted more ammo.
Yeah.
And he was chasing them, blowing out the back window with the Browning. Went through like 3 magazines.
Yeah. Shooting while he's driving out the window, left-handed, driving in excess of 100 miles an hour down little old country back roads in Texas.
Farm to market roads. And he started with his arm out the window like this, and he got tired of, quote, eating brass. So he had it on the roof and was just blowing out the back window of the car they were chasing.
And he was afraid they were going to shoot and hit the windshield because they were shooting back at him.
Yeah.
And mar his beautiful face. And we all just lost it.
I take it he was a mud rail fence.
Johnny was he was
a craggy old boy.
His
face had character.
Yeah.
He was born in El Paso, and I miss that old man. He was my mentor.
Yeah.
He really was. He was good. He was good people. He was straight up West Texas, old school gentleman. Much like somebody else we know.
Yeah.
He was an old school Texas gentleman miss that old man.
Ironically, Johnny preferred carry was a 1911.
Yep. Colt Commander.
Yep.
His preferred carry, his court gun, barbecue gun was a Colt Commander and 38 Super.
Yeah.
Super 38. Love that thing. Love the 38 Super round.
Yeah. Short story collection. Stories of how new policies made the manual. Oh, God.
I remember.
I don't know that you could write that, Tom, because how do you camouflage who the guilty is?
Well, the entire time I was at the first Buck Scuffle, the only policy change I was responsible for, there was briefly marketed, this would be 1994, briefly marketed to law enforcement, this pneumatic cannon. And it took one of those little bitty CO2 cartridges screwed into the butt. And then you had, I forget how much lead, a sock full of steel.
Yeah.
Steel and lead. And when you hit you twisted this little thing 90 degrees, and it shot this, and basically it was a heavy punch. And I got it. And at the time, policy didn't say anything about, if it was marketed for law enforcement, you could carry it.
Yeah.
So I got it. And first time I got out, and it was, funnily enough, Big Mama. And she had just lawn darted her second, or dirt darted her second paramedic, because they showed up. She wanted to go to the hospital, and they say ain't nothing wrong with you. So she started dirt darting paramedics. I come out of the car at a dead run with a brand new pneumatic
Yeah.
cannon, and lined up on, and I hit it, and the beanbag hit her in, I quote, left tit, and she sat down. She sat down, and then she got back up, and there weren't a reload. That thing didn't reload worth a damn with any sort of quickness. So I was up on her back when the sheriff got there. I was riding her back, piggyback, beating her shoulders, and I bent the spun aluminum barrel on that thing. I was just, and the new policy was that a deputy that any how did that go? Any personnel that get a device that has not yet been played with the sheriff will check with the sheriff and let him play with it before they carried on duty.
Drang says, War Story Collection held together with, how did that policy get written?
I had my, it's a wham, 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 wham. It wasn't worth a shit for a baton.
Yes, sir, Brass. That's the one thing that's really pissing off the left is all of the body camera footage is showing that all these shoots are good shoots.
A lot of them are.
And
the funny thing is a whole bunch of leftists are starting to demand that body cams not be carried.
yeah, I want them to go away.
Because they're infringing upon the privacy rights of the people the law enforcement's engaging with.
Yeah, in other words, they're showing what the perps are actually doing.
I'm see if I can find that little cannon.
Yeah. It's no policy about shooting mechanical Santas.
Oh no, we didn't have to get that policy. My ears, the ringing in my ears, wrote that policy for privately for me.
Another just sent a Hawk story. Okay, Raptor, go to it. Yeah, body cams interrupt the narrative, James. That's an excellent point. That is a very good point.
I spent a lot of money on that thing. It's got to be here somewhere.
It probably went away with a quickness.
Oh, it was only in the police magazines for about a year.
Yeah, we demand body cameras for safety. No, your body camera is violating my safety. Now your body camera is showing what you're actually doing, you little shit. We're hanging in there, James. Trying to stay warm.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell? I carried that thing for at least twice. It should be here somewhere.
Yeah, sure, Sir Brass, I tend to agree with you. If I'm giving an officer a statement, I want it recorded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe beanbag launcher.
Yeah, probably a beanbag.
Rat control device.
Huh?
Rat control device.
Oh, no, it was a one person only. Put CO2.
Oh.
Actually, it wasn't worth a damn to beat them with because I bent that spun aluminum barrel all to hell on her neck and shoulders.
100 pair, 105s. Oh, nice, James. Finished another VFW project.
All right. When we get done with this, I'm going to have to find that launcher because I swear to God, I didn't make it up. Got to be here. So I think I got it from Cold Steel, matter of fact.
Well, what I'm trying to figure out is why didn't your sheriff have a policy that nobody takes on Big Mama with less than 3-to-1 odds?
Because we didn't have 3 people on duty at any time.
You were lucky if you had one.
Yep. We were a 4-man department, and we had a game warden, and that area had 2 DPS troopers. So if there were more than once, I've been out at 2 a.m, and I was it. Sheriff was in bed asleep 20 minutes away.
And 1 Texas Ranger.
Yeah, but Leo Hickman was out of Childress.
Yeah.
So he was 60, 100 miles away.
Yeah, but he drove like a bat out of
Oh,
hell.
no shit.
Yeah. Steve McQueen and the Bounty Hunter had that same.
Yeah,
Device.
sort of, but this one was a lot more narrow. And instead of thumb, you had to smack the back. If I remember right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm of a certain vintage, and who the hell knows?
Yeah. Yeah, traffic cameras, putting the dash cameras in a car is a good idea anymore.
Yeah, no kidding.
Especially if you live in Russia. God.
Oh,
And a few other countries like Italy.
this had the CO2 went in grip, and then you had this disc shaped that you turned it a section of it 90 degrees so it wouldn't fire. So you had to twist, you had to turn, and then you smacked it, and it shot a narrow. It wasn't a flat beanbag; it was a narrow beanbag, like a hot dog full of pain.
MV Associates stun bag launcher.
Might be. Let's take a look. No,
Thank you, David.
I threw that thing away after I bent the barrel on it.
I remember years ago, I happened to be on vacation, and my two of my best friends were law enforcement over in Arkansas, and I got drug out to help them at a training session, and had this guy from Miami SWAT in town, and he was telling them how to handle riots. And he was very professional, very bulked up individual, obviously worked out a lot. And, he was kind of chuckling about the quality of the local SWAT team. And my best friend Bill happened to be
the Arma.
Huh?
Not the Arma.
Commander of SWAT, local SWAT. And he finally looked at this officer and he said, "Well, let me tell you something." He said, "We don't have enough people to go spend all of our time working out. We're all patrol people too. So if we have to put down a riot, we're going to put it down. Now, how many people survive is going to be a different question."
Up them.
And I never forget this Miami officer's eyes got big. He said, "What do you mean survive?" And Bill looked at him and said, "We're going to shoot the fuckers." He says, 20 or 30 against three of us, we're going to shoot the fuckers. He says, "We ain't got time to put up with that shit." And poor Miami guy going, but. So he had some of us as protesters. And of course, we were carrying blue guns. It's typical Arkansas, Texas people. We're carrying blue guns. So we come out with the blue guns, and the officers responded appropriately with shotguns.
Like you do.
And that poor Miami guy just standing over shaking his head, and he said, "I'm not doing any good here."
Nope.
And
Bye-bye.
he literally left. And Bill and Jerry looked at each other and went, "Well, I think that concludes the training for the day and a week and a month."
We're done with riot training.
Yeah. Self-propelled training aid at Fort Knox. Yeah, Tom, I remember your stories about that.
I was told to stay out of Dogpatch like I said, it was a 4-man department. There was the sheriff, the chief deputy, the night deputy, and me.
Yeah.
And the sheriff gave me direct orders to stay out of Dogpatch until they knew me. And I was 25.
Yeah.
I was stupid.
You were done.
Went in Dogpatch, got the shit kicked out of me, and they got my badge.
Yeah.
And I got back to the car and got across the tracks. And they put the boots in. I was bleeding. Didn't have my badge. Got across the tracks, and the sheriff had heard about it somehow. Somebody probably called him. He was waiting for me. He said, "Where's your badge?" I said, "They got it." He said, "You take that Mossberg 500. You go over there. You rack the slide. You say, 'I want my badge.' The first one do anything except hand you your badge, you shoot them. Do you understand me? I said, he said, if you can't do that, you're no use to me. And go get your badge or you go find another agency to work at. So I did. Racked the slide, so I want badge back. And they went, here you go. And I am given to understand that that sort of thing these days is a no-go for most agencies.
Yep. Yeah, James, I just got through reading John's new Wolfhounds book, and yes, it does have a Spurgle cameo in it. It's a good book. Y'all will enjoy it once it comes out. I did help him with the dining in because Air Force dining ins and Navy Marine dining ins are significantly different.
I got a call from an old buddy in the Panhandle a couple months ago, actually, who had just found out about my issues. It finally got to the grapevine up there. And he called me and said, I fucking told you not to go down that leftist hellhole that is South Texas. I said, Bobby, I'm in North Texas. You're out of the Panhandle. It's all liberal hellhole. Told you stay in the Panhandle where you belong. It's like, suck of a bitch. God damn it.
Differ. Air Force dining ins, yes, they're fancy. They're cute little things. They don't have any fun.
There's a lot of folks outside of Amarillo in the Panhandle who consider the rest of Texas to be way too liberal.
Yeah. If you want to have some fun at an Air Force dining in, start a battle with wine-soaked rolls. And make sure you take out the head table. Of course, you may get banned, but hey, what the hell?
Earn it.
Yeah.
Might as well earn it.
Okay, so you're saying you get rewarded for starting the
Well, we used to, when we did Navy dining ins, we would purposely wear our worst set of choker whites because we knew they were going to be ruined by the time it was over. Because red wine does not come out of whites, period.
There's some muttering coming from the back.
Yeah.
We've got to mic up the back.
Yeah.
I swear to God. For those of you who are new on the live stream, the comments from the ladies in the back are sometimes some of the best part of this.
I will just say there one time we did a dining in down in Florida where we might have played a little trick on the 2-star guest speaker. The
Hey, Jay.
the parading of the beef is always at a Navy Marine function where the chef comes out with the beef.
Oh, I was going in a totally different
Yeah,
direction.
no, that's much later.
I was going in a totally different direction with that one.
Chef comes out and parades the beef, cuts a small slice, gives it to the CO, president of the mess, who deems it fit for consumption.
Oh.
Well, we might have set this one up.
Oh, dear.
So the chef does that. The CO says, this is not fit for consumption. Pulls out a 45, goes boom. Big splotch of red. Chef falls over dead. The 2-star is going, trying to figure out how to get out of the room. Meanwhile, a couple of us drag the chef out, drag the beef out, continue on like nothing happened. The 2-star is sitting there looking around frantically, going, is everybody here fucking insane?
Where's the Shore Patrol?
They come in, serve the meal. Finally, the 2-star gets up and says, I want to know what the fuck's going on here. The skipper said, beef was unsatisfactory. What's the problem, Admiral? Finally had to tell him.
Yeah, of course.
One of the officers' wives worked as a pyrotechnic expert for movies. So she had rigged the
Rigged
chef
him up.
and had the 45 with the blanks. But that admiral never came back. His speech was about 30 seconds long.
Oh, good.
Considering basically his speech was, "You fuckers are crazy. No wonder you're goddamn Airedales," and stomped out.
Thank you.
Didn't even stay for the rest of the. Of course, he salvaged his whites because he wasn't there when the wine soaked one started flying. Devolved into a Star Wars, Star Trek argument. Oh, geez. Well, it's military intelligence, Tom. What do you expect?
Anything but intelligence?
Point.
Now, Panhandle has got stuff to do. You just have to be. Tiffany's talking about how there's nothing in the Panhandle for her to do, and she's not wrong.
Actually, Tom, the CO made admiral.
And Jay's across in the puddle in an Airbus.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I need to sit you down. Jay worked at Boeing for a while. I need to sit you down, and we can have a talk about your.
He worked at Big Boeing.
Yeah. We need to have a talk about your planes there, Scooter.
Yeah. Oh, Lake Meredith has water in it again. Damn,
Holy
y'all
crap.
are getting some rain.
Holy crap. No, there's stuff to do in Amarillo more than there used to be. And the Panhandle Plains Museum is not to be missed. There's I think there's a water park. There's a water park and some great little museums. But you have to be able to ride horses if you really want to have fun.
You know, it's Alan. I know the whole Star Wars, Star Trek, Babylon 5 thing, but I have never understood why people get so wrapped up in that.
Because it's a way of showing tribal allegiance.
You could pick something better than that.
Why? We're humans. We don't pick better.
Jesus,
Humanity's stupid.
I know that.
They're stupid and they're tribal.
Have you ever seen the reactions between armor and infantry in the army?
No.
Crunchies?
You mean the 10 heads, the people in the moving target?
And crunchies.
There was a place called the Stab and Jab on Grafenwehr,
Okay.
EM Club.
Yeah.
It was called the Stab and Jab because inevitably there would be a Marine unit or an Army infantry unit and an Army tanker unit there at the same time.
Yeah.
And someone always got jabbed and someone always got stabbed.
You got treadheads, which are and death before dismount, which apparently somebody at a cavalry, some CO or CSM at a cavalry unit, this came across my feed the other day, has announced that they no longer say death before dismount.
What?
Yeah, can't say it anymore. It's contrary to Army policy.
Oh, for God's sakes.
We knew we were going to have to dismount. But anyway, treadheads, there was death by dismount, and crunchies. Because you could chase little bastards down.
Yeah, but once you got them out of that shell,
Yeah.
there weren't much there.
Yeah, but they can do dirty things to a T-90, apparently.
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't know how good this intel is. Apparently, either the feed sprocket on the 242 had jammed or they were out of APDS. They did all that with HEI.
Ah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's why they couldn't can open the tank.
Yeah.
Is they were, but I'm pretty sure that 1-inch high explosive incendiary rounds detonating on the hull made for a really kind of stressful interior to that T-90.
Yeah. Yeah. Think.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's not a whole argument over this versus that in the chat, which I'm not going to get into. But it's, you know, honest to God, of course, I'm also old enough that I was already in the military when Star Wars came out. So I saw the first 3 and that was it.
I'm not near as old as you, and I was old enough for that.
Yeah. But I've never understood people getting so wrapped up in something. It's like their entire lives revolve around a friggin' set of movies.
or a TV series.
Or a TV series, yeah.
David Bach, didn't the M2 gunners damage the T9 turret? Yeah, they brought the hate to the point that it looks like they cleaned off the optics and damaged the turret ring to the point that it started spinning uncontrollably. And with the optics gone and the turret ring spinning, which an uncontrolled turret spin can do really bad things to your inner ear, and it paints the entire inside of Yark.
Yeah.
That's I'm guessing that's why the commander ordered the driver to drive into a tree.
Yeah.
Is the main gun barrel hit the tree and stopped spinning so they could unass the tank, because you can't get out of the tank. You can't get out of T90 if the turret's spinning like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that interview Winkle read. Supposedly they interviewed the guy that was in the Bradley, and he learned it from a
Video game.
video game. Yeah.
Guy who claimed to be the Bradley gunner says he learned it from a video game.
When I was in the 70s, I was in the infantry, and they had a video game out, one of the early video games.
Mhm.
And it had this wireframe
Yep.
tank that
Yep.
you drove.
I love
And
that game.
And it was the trainer for the armor.
Yeah.
It actually was their trainer.
Yeah.
I used to really piss the armor guys off because I was infantry, and I kept the high score on the machine.
Yeah, Tank Zone. Yeah, I love that. I love that game.
Trang says, I keep imagining a Russian staggering back going, it's a trap. It's a
There's two
trap.
of them. Yeah, it's no toes, and I'm guessing that either they're out of APDI, no APDSI, no APST. Fuck, I'm confused. APD. I'm guessing they're either out of APDS-T, or the feed sprocket was facultated, because the Bradley chain gun feeds from two hoppers. And you've got upper sprockets, lower sprockets, and the gunner and the track commander can decide if they want to feed from the armor-piercing discarded Sabo tracer or the high-explosive incendiary tracer. Two different, you can feed at will. And I didn't realize they were banjo banging that tank with HEI. I should have,
Yeah.
but no, the inside, those guys, that poor crew must have been bleeding out of the eardrums, because 200 bangs a minute on that hull.
Yeah.
Whoo!
Well, they were doing it. You realize that they were doing that because they wanted to make them suffer. They didn't want to kill them. They wanted to make them suffer.
Oh, well,
Tank Zone. Was it Tank Zone or the last Starfighter that had the tank in it?
Tank zone.
Tank Zone. Yeah. Yeah. The if they'd had APDST, they'd been hitting the turret ring like the gunner was, there's a better than even chance they could have Swiss cheese that turret ring.
Yeah.
And the spalling from a tungsten or DU APDS on the inside, the little high velocity splinters is less than
Uncomfortable.
Oh.
conducive to basic life functions.
Yeah. But they got out, so it was probably not DU.
No. Well,
As Tom says, ball tracer, ball tracer, ball tracer.
now every round out of it, or used to be, I don't know about now, every round was tracer. The APDST, armor piercing discarded Sabo tracer, and the HEIT, which high explosive incendiary tracer, which is what you use for lightly armored.
Raptor, you're actually at shot.
Oh,
I feel for your feet and lower legs.
some of the stuff coming out of shop this year. Oh my God, holy crap!
Yeah.
They're listening finally.
Yeah.
But the I was going somewhere and squirrels close to.
Boulder City. Hey, Jet. Not asking why you're in Boulder City.
There's a Smith & Wesson has a Lipsy Special 632 hammerless with good sights, 32 Magnum.
Yeah.
6-round 32 Magnum, which Rita, one of the first guns she bought was either 642 or 442, which is a snubby hammerless 357. She doesn't shoot it much. I'm willing to bet a 32 Magnum she'd shoot a lot more.
Yeah.
And 32 is just as good as 38.
Okay, Jet. That now some of your comments make sense. Sorry about that.
What? I'm missing something. What?
He lives just outside of Las Vegas.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then let's see, Taurus has a 30-inch 32 snubby.
Yeah.
And Smith & Wesson has a Marlin 336 clone.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of interested in.
I saw somebody has a mare's leg shotgun.
Ooh,
Ow.
ooh, ooh.
Ow.
I don't know who it is. I don't know what gauge it is, but I saw a video of it the other day, just showing. Look at this; it's new, and it was somebody with a mare's leg shotgun.
Has to be 410 or 28.
Wow.
Again, Sir Brass, 327.
327 Federal is a good rifle round or carbine round. 32 Magnum is a much better pistol round.
327 sucks in a pistol. A friend of mine has one. And
Fireball is about that big.
yeah. Henry 410 for the mare's leg.
Yeah, that okay. 410.
Yeah.
410 makes sense. Yeah, the Bradley as mobile quick reaction. The M2 is not a bad idea. You get 6, you can have 6 or 7, depending on how you stuff the 7th guy. You can stuff them beside the turret if you put some weight in there. You get 6 or 7 bodies. I prefer the M3. We take out 4 or 5 of the bodies and replace it with ammo, which I'm a big fan of ammo.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is with the turret gyro stabilization on the Bradley, you can be hauling ass across the landscape at 30 miles an hour and lock your sights on target and keep at 1 click, 1 kilometer. You can keep all your shots in a 3-inch circle if you're good.
Yeah.
It's like, that always.
Yeah, Sir Brass, that's what she had, was an SP 101 and 327. And that thing ate my damn knuckle up.
32 Magnum is a better round than that.
Of course, I hate Rugers for that reason. Ruger revolvers for that reason.
That's the first thing you do when you buy a Ruger revolver is yank the grip and replace it with something from VZ or
Packmeyer.
Packmeyer. That's the same thing. Joe Sparrow, when he worked on the snubby that killed Santa Claus, first thing he did was yank that idiot grip off there and put Craig Spiegel boot grip on.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did with that one that we basically stole that day from the gun shop over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it when you have people who are so deep into SIGs and Kimbers and other things that they mismark.
Colts.
Yeah. That they mismark pistols by hundreds of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
We were in there wandering around one day and I looked in the case and there sits a old Ruger Blackhawk.
Yeah.
44 Magnum. The original Ruger Blackhawk 44 Magnum.
For a lot less than it should have been.
Yeah. And it had been worked on by somebody that knew Rugers.
And
That thing
had very few rounds through it.
it had very few rounds through it, but smooth. Oh, that one was smooth. And I played with it and I called Ian over and I said, yeah. And Ian's eyes got about this big.
How much you pay for this? Ha!
And I went, okay, good. Give me that. I'm going to go buy it. So I buy it. We're coming out. He goes, how much do you pay for that? And it was under $500.
Yep.
And he looked at me and went, you got to be shitting me.
Jay, the Bradley, I love the Bradley. Big fan of the Bradley. I hate the toe system on that son of a bitch. The chain gun is great. The autocannon is great. I don't mind the coax. The friggin' toe needs to go away. It needs to be replaced with some fire and forget, because the toe missile launcher or Starstreak or something, or a commonality launcher that can do the French, that French long range.
Exocet.
No, it's the new one.
Oh,
There's
I don't know.
they've got a new anti-tank. It's fire and forget like the Javelin, only with a bigger warhead, or the Starstreak for general use. I don't like the toe. The toe, you pretty much have to call off the war in order, because they tell me now that when you engage the toe, it governors the Bradley down to 3 miles an hour.
That's not good.
Used to be we had to park. Used to be, if I remember right, this has been a while, we had to park to deploy the tow.
Parking is not a problem. You pick a nice hull defilade position, and
Yeah.
slowing you down to 3 miles an hour because you're getting ready to fire the weapon just
Once you start deploying it, it governors the Bradley down to 3 miles. It's what I was
Yeah.
told.
that would bother me.
Yeah, Exocet. Winkle Red, I know. Exocet just because he said French, and that's what popped into my mind because of my training.
Yeah.
Yeah, David, I understand not being a brand loyalist, but my problem is I grew up with Colts. I learned how to shoot Colts,
Oh, yeah.
and everything
Same
else
thing
is
with
ass
Ruger.
backwards.
Same thing, me and Reuters.
Yeah.
Or Smiths.
So my muscle memory after 60 plus years goes to what a Colt does.
But if they could replace that idiot toe with something fire and forget, I'd take a javelin.
How about a 106 millimeter recoilless rifle?
No,
105.
again, you have to call off the war. But
Carl Gustav.
Carl Gustav is okay for individual people. It makes no sense on a tracked vehicle. You need a dedicated, reliable tank killer. And while I love the Bushmaster, it's not a dedicated tank killer. It can get it done. Witness the T90.
Yeah.
But you need, and for a dedicated, reliable tank killer, you need something with a rocket engine and a warhead. So the French have a new one that's fire and forget. And there are enough fire and forgets out there. You could retrofit a Bradley to take a fire and forget package. The tow, I don't like the tow. I do not like the tow. The tow has a god awful back blast when it goes up
Yeah.
and everybody in the battlefield that sees that back blast starts shooting at it.
Yeah. And we've wasted another hour of your time.
Holy
folks.
crap, we have.
We kind of went down a single rat hole.
Boy, we
today.
did. We didn't even talk about food this time.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
41
folks.
people and 23 likes. What have we done
We
to
talked about food. You mentioned having a case of haggis.
Oh, haggis.
Yeah.
Only 23 likes.
You're
What have
right. We didn't
what
talk
have
about food.
done to disappoint you? What have we done to disappoint you? 23 likes, 41 people watching. We have disappointed you somehow. How?
And we're being completely
And there it goes
ignored.
up.
Well, thank you for watching, folks. We do appreciate it. And the chat wins again.
Didn't talk about AI. That will be a Thursday because
Uh,
I need to do some research. Publisher hat on.
Yeah, James,
we'll
I've
talk
been
about-
watching your Substack. It's good.
We'll talk. We're going to discuss that when Cedar's here on Thursday because.
Y'all take care. And remember, don't pet the sweaty stuff. Don't sweat the petty stuff.
Y'all be
see
safe.
you later. Acheron. Yeah, that's the new French fire and
No,
forget.
it's something else. Yeah, okay. There will be opinions. No, there will be facts. I'm not on this one. This one, I'm not on the whole AI issue. I'm not dealing in opinions. I'm dealing in facts, and I'm fixing. We'll talk about this Thursday.
Bye. Oh, God.